What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? It is me, the hostess with the mostest. It is your girl, Easy Breezy, inviting you to join me every Thursday night for the Uplift Show with Breezy, exclusively here on Stellar Award nominated Awesome God Radio. It is my mission here at the Uplift Show simply to enlighten, inform, and inspire the people of God to live our best lives. I'm telling you guys, we got a little bit of everything here on the Uplift Show. We have healthcare professionals, we have authors, we have speakers, we have gospel artists, we have comedians, we have game shows. Yes, game shows. Yes, we do give away cash money up in here. So you're definitely going to want to join us for that. And please, I'm inviting you to come and chit and chat with us as we sit down with some of your favorites, like gospel artists, Dove Award winner, Stellar Award winner, Mr. I Told the Storm himself, Mr. Greg O'Quinn, gospel comedy's sweetheart, Felicia Fifi Moore, and the one and only gospel superstar, Miss Vicky Winans. I'm telling you, we got it all here. So I want you to come laugh, come cry, come chat, come share. I want you all to get lifted right here on the Uplift Show with me, Easy Breezy, and I will see you on Thursday. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Uplift Show, of course, with me, Easy Breezy, like Sunday morning. Y'all will have to forgive me. I'm an absolute mess this evening. It has been a long, tough day. For any of you who are listening live right now, I said, please, if you can't hear me, let me know because I got the fan shooting straight into my face so that I do not melt into a puddle of chocolatey goodness right here before your very eyes. I really feel like I might. I mean, it is burning up. It has been a long, hot day. Whew, it's been a busy day. The last few days have just been crazy. So I'm trying to relax, relate, and release so that I can bring you my full self here. Thank you for joining me on another Thursday evening right here on Awesome God Radio. You are listening to the Uplift Show with me, Easy Breezy, like Sunday morning. God bless your heart and all your parts. Thank you so much again for joining me. There's other things that you could be doing. I'm sure there's something good on TV. I don't know what it is because I don't watch no TV. People don't believe me when I say that, but I'll go weeks and weeks and weeks without turning my television on. I just don't need it. But I know a lot of other people do, and I'm sure there's some kind of law and CSI order victims something. I'm sure there's something else on television. But you have chosen to spend a little time with me. So let us get started without further ado. Our top story today: after anticipating a very disappointing summer, Humpty Dumpty is looking forward to a great fall. Haha. And this just in: looks really don't matter unless you're ugly. And now, this is what I would like you to do. If you would get yourself a little pen, a crayon, some toilet paper, a notebook, doesn't matter what it is. This is what I want you to do. I want you to write down the Uplift channel on YouTube. I want you to go right now over to YouTube, log in, and subscribe to the Uplift channel. I'm telling you, I am looking forward to a fabulous fall season lineup. I've got some great shows in the works. The next thing you know, Oprah Winfrey is going to be calling me and asking me to do a show on my channel. I'm working on some really great stuff for you all. I got to keep some things hush hush right now. But I promise you, I got some good stuff going. So if you will do that for me right now, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Uplift channel. There's a few things there now, but there is more to come. Before I say anything else, I want to thank you all so much, every single listener, for your love and for your support. I found out a couple of days ago that for the second year in a row, the Uplift Show has been nominated for two Spin Awards in the 2020. The first is something, Best Radio Show and Radio Host of the Year, I believe they are. Um, it's awesome. Last year was my first time at the ceremony in Atlanta, and it was awesome. Hey, Shanda, girl, I'm so sorry. It has been such a crazy day. I would have loved to have you here on the show with me, but oh my goodness, I have to call you later, girl. But we definitely miss you here, and hopefully we'll be back together next week. So last year, I packed up, went down to Atlanta for the Spin Awards, had an awesome time. Didn't come home with the big prize, but I came home with lots of bigger prizes. What is that? I made some great contacts. I met some wonderful people. I learned a lot. And as we sometimes we tease people sometimes who don't win, and they say, "Oh, it's an honor just to be nominated." That's when people try to do humility. Well, I promise you, for me, it just was an honor to be nominated. It was just such a wonderful time, and I appreciate it. And so we're going again. We're raring to go again in 2020. Not the Spin Awards. I'm asking you right now to go to www.thespinawards.com/vote and put in your ballots. And y'all, I know how much y'all love me. I know how much you love me because I love you right back. So anywhere you see in any of those categories, you see the Uplift Show, or you see Breezy. Yes, I want you to click that box. However, I am even more excited because several of my AGR family has also been nominated for several Spin Awards. Of course, the Good Life Gospel Show here every Saturday from 9 to 11 has been nominated for at least two awards, I believe. Not only that, but our very own AGR in house pastor, Pastor Deborah Burris of Heart Matters Radio, has been nominated for two awards. And of course, my girl and your girl, Whitney J of She Heals Radio, who will be on tomorrow at 6 p.m., has been nominated for two, also for two awards. I'm telling you, I'm more excited for them than I am for me. And I can't wait to get down there because when their names are called, I'm going to be cheering louder than anyone else. I love my AGR family and I love you all. And again, to all of you who nominated me, who thought enough just to take a couple of minutes to put my name down for whatever category it was. I thank you, and I ask you right now to go on over, tell your friends and your family and your church and the neighbor and the bum and everything else to go to www.thespinawards.com/vote. Voting is open now. It ends on July the 31st, and you are welcome and encouraged to vote as much as you want. If you want to put in 100 votes a day for me, easy breezy, then I'm not going to discourage you from doing so. So please get your votes in, vote early, vote often. Is any time that I come across your mind, just say, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to put in a vote for Breezy right now. And I know that I come across your minds all the time because I come across my mind all the time. I think about me constantly. When I'm not thinking about me, I'm lonely for myself. And, I don't know what I would do without me. And I would never put all of you in a position not to have me. So I want to say, first and foremost, y'all, the Lord's going to have to work tonight because I got a subject, I got a thought, I got a title, even got a scripture, but I really don't know where I'm going with it. I really don't know all of what the Lord is trying to do with this. So I wrote down a few things. I, pulled out a couple of scriptures, and psh, we're just going to see what happens. I have no idea. I do know that we are in an unprecedented time. Hello, mother. My mother has commented and she has said something odd. Um, I don't know what she's referring to. She just says, but I'm sure she's referring to something weird that I have said. I don't know what I said because why would I know what I say? It comes out of my mouth, but I don't know what I say. Thank you for joining me, Mother. Also, of course, Shandaboo, love you so much. And please check in whether you are live right now on Facebook, whether you are live listening on the Uplift channel, whether you are live now at awesomegodradio.com, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please just a wave, just a quick hello, just a quick I'm here. Let your voice be heard, not only just for tonight's show, but please keep up contact with me. You can always email me at breezylikesundayMorning@yahoo.com. You can contact me here on Facebook. You got something that you want to see on the show, you've got an idea, you've got a suggestion, you got a thought, you want to come and join me, let me know. And I am always open to you. And I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Hold on, make sure nobody listening. Okay. Don't tell nobody. Starting next week, we're going to be having a weekly giveaway here on the Uplift Show. Every week, all you have to do is answer a random trivia question every week. Cash every single week. But don't tell nobody. Shh. Shh. Hold on, I had to make sure the cat wasn't listening. Okay. Oh, I see we got a hello from Taisha Smith. Thank you so much for joining us, Miss Taisha. And and my mother is making a comment that she thinks I'm odd because I need myself. Well, I need me. You need me. We're all a part of me, Breezy. Stand with me. Agree with me. Oh, I went all off key. But that's okay because I'm Breezy and I can do stuff like that. Oh, I amuse me so much you have no idea. My subject for today, let me stop acting silly. What the heck was I saying? See, I told you I talk and I don't know what I say. This is what I was saying. I was saying that we're in a volatile time. We are in a confusing time. We are truly in an unprecedented time. You see, we already were all worked up and confused and scared when we found out that it was so easy for us to get a virus and just die, and we started losing people all over the place. Over 100,000 people have passed away from this disease that is almost like a silent killer, and it caused panic. And then on top of that panic, one of our brothers, another, straight up murdered because of the demon of racism. And so that compounded onto the fear and confusion and pain that we already had. And now you add anger, and you add violence, and you add fire on top of that fire. And it seems like we are truly about to explode. And now keep in mind, of course, these are not the only two problems that we have. There are so many other things. There is war and poverty and homelessness and unemployment. We got an orange man in the White House. There's so much that's been happening. And this world is truly at a crossroads. Even as I speak to you, hopefully you cannot hear it, but every single night since the death of George Floyd here in Baltimore, there has been a explosion of fireworks every single night. I sit here in my room every night and just listen, just constantly. every night. Is it annoying? Yes, but it could be worse because it could be guns instead. So, what am I getting at? This is what I'm getting at. Thank you so much for asking. What I'm getting at is this: right now, we are in a time where we truly don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't know what's going to happen. Essentially, I thought about this. I was having a conversation with someone a couple of days ago, and I liken the situation now in our this Black Lives Matter movement. I got on my hold up. You probably can't see it. It says I love my dark skin. In the middle of this, certainly I was not around during the civil rights movement or anything. I a little bit young for that, but I do know my history. And if you look at what's happening now versus what happened in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, it was largely us against them. But that has changed because what you're seeing out here right now is Black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Indian people, everybody coming together to say enough is enough. This is a new day, a new generation. And what I thought about was the fact that the Israelites had to wander around in the desert for 40 years, a trip that should have taken 7 days. But they had to wander around for 40 years in order for that unbelieving and sinful generation to die off so that the new blood could arise. That, I believe, is a lot of what's happening now because we are seeing that this generation, this new blood, is not putting up with the old way of thinking. It's not putting up with the new. It's not putting up with the prejudice. It's not putting up with the degradation. It's not putting up with the racism. It's not putting up with the violence, the pain. We're not putting up with it. What is that movie? Enough is enough, and I'm not going to take it anymore. The new blood is rising, and we've only just seen the beginning of it. What is going to happen after we come out of this? We've all lost. We've all felt what we're going through right now. If you haven't lost anyone personally, you know someone who's lost someone. It could have been your neighbor. It could have been a family member. It could have been someone you went to school with. We've all had so many losses, not just to go to COVID, but also to violence. So now we are in a place, or coming to a place, I should say, of death. Because the things that have been happening are dying off. This is all going to die off. When it dies off, what's going to be left? I was sitting on this past Sunday, sitting in my little favorite chair. I think the cat was probably under my arm. And I thought about a skeleton. And I thought about that skeleton praying and saying, what do I do now? And I didn't know what to do with that vision. I didn't know what to do with that thought. But can these bones live? And things started coming piece by piece. And I said, Lord, what are you telling me? And just can these bones live? Lord, what are you saying? What's going on? Can these bones live? We are in a skeletal time. We are almost going back to basics, so to speak. We are in the most technologically advanced place that we will ever be. This now you can pretty much do anything by the touch of a button or the blink of an eye or the snap of your finger. Whatever can be done pretty much. However, in many ways, we are going back to square one. How are we going back to square one? Because the unbelieving and dying generation, the unbelieving, the sinful generation has got to go. There's a lot more things that are going to happen, family, before the Lord comes back. Things are going to get worse before they get better. But we cannot allow ourselves to be discouraged by that fact and say, well, if things are going to get better, then why should I even bother? They're going to get worse. But then there's going to be death. But then there's going to be pain. But then there is going to be a season of dryness. But then there is going to be the skeletons. But then there are going to be the dry bones. But then I hear the sound of an abundance of rain, and the dry season will end. So, right now, we have to ask ourselves, those of us who are the believers, we are the leaders. The world is looking to us now. I don't care what anybody else is doing right now. It does not matter. Okay. I don't care whether you're black, white, gay, straight, up, down, forwards, backwards. It doesn't make a bit of difference. Right now, the world is looking for us to come together in unity. That's all of us. You can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be Jehovah's Witness. I don't care what you are. I don't care what you call yourself. We are in this together. And when it's over, when the dry season is over, that's when we will have to ask ourselves the question as we're looking around at the after effects, when we're looking around at the dust and the dirt and the death and the destruction, and we'll have to say, Lord, can these bones live? So I went, of course, this particular question, this story comes from the book of Ezekiel. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to give you some thinking points. I'm going to give you the periscope, so to speak. Let's see. And again, y'all know my eyeballs don't half work, so I got to put stuff like right up here so I can see. Oh my goodness. So, I'm still developing my thoughts, and I'm still allowing the Lord to speak. Oh my goodness. We are truly, we're facing demolition. This is, mm, 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 mm. There really there's something of a spiritual dryness and a lack of hope. There's a sense of being abandoned because we just don't know what's happening. And it's okay to be confused. It's okay to be angry. It's okay almost to be mad at God. Like, wow, what are you doing? Why did you take why did you take my husband? Why did you take my wife? Why did you take my son, my mother, my neighbors? Why did we have to go through this? It's okay. But as we look into these dry bones symbolize demise and death. And the dry bones in Ezekiel's vision are the people of God. So, see, it's nothing new under the sun. And I'm going to say this really quickly. Has it ever occurred to you that nothing ever occurs to God? Let me say that again. Has it ever occurred to you that nothing occurs to God? Things take us by surprise. Things shock us. We are in a time now that we've never seen before, but to God, it's like, okay. There's nothing new under the sun. He's seen it all. He knows it all. He's been through it all. He's delivered through it all. He knew what was coming before we knew anything, before we even were. I am. Before Moses was, I am. Before Noah was, I am. Before David was, I am. Before any of us were, he was. So this is confusing for us. He's not confusing the least bit. Things are shocking us. Nothing shocks God. So the death and the bones, as I was saying, I'm sorry, the dry bones in Ezekiel's vision um, were representative of the people of God. And I have to tell y'all, the people of God today have been dry. We have been doing business as usual. We've been going through the motions. People have been turning away from the church really in droves. Everything is okay. Anything you want to do, they say, let your freak flag fly. Anything, everything has come out of the closet and we done gone into the closet. The saints got dry. The church got dry. And because of our dryness, now the Lord is saying to his leadership, he's saying to his people, can these bones live? What is your answer? Oh, I didn't even mean to go there. I completely I went off my own little script there. So let me read a couple of verses here. Ezekiel 37, 1 and 2. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them around about. And behold, there was many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I've been dry. I've been dry. Oh my goodness. Anybody else ever been dry? I've been to a point where I was going to church every Sunday, singing on the choir, working in the media ministry, working in the sound booth, ushering, working with the children, doing almost any and everything, cooking fried chicken and fish and everything else. But it was kind of by rote. It was robotic. I did what I was doing because I was supposed to. Serving, but dry. Singing, but dry. Ushering, but dry. Smiling, but dry. Praying, but dry. I'm going to have to take a side right here because I'm remembering something from a few years ago. I'm going back into the New Testament saying that when Jesus met the woman at the well and he said to her, I can give you water that you will never thirst again. Have you ever been so thirsty? Just your throat is parched. You can't even get any spit together. This is not just thirsty, this is dried out. And that thirst will wake you up in the middle of the night. You got to get yourself a drink of water, and it will cause you to navigate your way down the stairs over shoes and clothes and toys and book bags and fumbling for the light and tripping and falling just to get you a glass of water. You feel like I'm losing my mind. I got to get some water. I can't breathe. I need to get some water. And that a real thirst will wake you up out of a dead sleep. And a real thirst will wake you up out of a dead church. A real thirst will wake you up out of a dead religion. It will wake you up out of a dead relationship. It will wake you up out of death when you have a real thirst. I've had a real thirst. But right now, what we're talking about is being in that valley, being in that dry place where there is no water, where there is no moisture, where there is nothing but death and dry. Now, it has been said, I heard someone say, I don't know what I was listening to, that, this is the backslider's fault. Everything that's going on, this is unbelievers' fault. No, it isn't. I've got news for y'all. Our God does not treat us like we treat us. See, we're always looking to get revenge on somebody. We're always saying, it's karma. What goes around comes around. And this is happening to you because you did that. Our God doesn't work that way. That's how we work. So that's why I am quite thankful that I am not God. And y'all should be thankful too. Because if we treated God, or if God treated us the way we treat others, ooh, help us, Lord. So when I heard this, this is all their fault. This is unbelievers' fault. Here's the thing. Unbelievers, sinners, backsliders, whatever you want to call them, they're doing they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing what they want to do. They fear no consequence. So, they're doing whatever they feel is right. We're the ones who are not stepping up to the plate. We are the ones who are not taking our rightful place. We are the ones. No, we haven't caused anything, but we have allowed things to happen because we have been so dry in our dead religions where we're sitting in our building Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, looking at the same brothers and the same sisters and singing the same songs and wearing the same big hats. And we're having a great time and we're speaking in tongues and we're praying and we're hucking and bucking and we're rolling around on the floor. Then we walk outdoors and we go right back to business as usual until next Sunday. And we come right back into the house of God doing the same thing, the same way, and expecting things to change, but they don't change. Even the word says that we have to go out into the hedges and the highways. We have to go out. If the church is the hospital, we have to go and bring the sick people in. We are the ones that are healed, so to speak. So we need to go out there and find the ones that still need us. Coming together every single Sunday or every Wednesday or whatever it is that you do with the same few people is not getting you anywhere. So how can we turn around and blame other people for bringing this upon us? No, we have brought this upon ourselves. And now is the time when the Lord is saying, I need you to raise yourselves up to be my mouthpiece. I need you to be my priest. I need you to go out there and spread the gospel, to spread my word. Now I need you to speak the word to make these dry bones live. Ah. Let me check the comments real quick because let me check the comments right here. Okay, thank you, Star Diamond, who is joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you. And she says, you have to change. We have to change. You cannot do the same thing over and over and think you're going to get different results. Something has to change. Something that I love about God is that if you don't say yes fast enough, or if you don't really do what God wants you to do, he can start making you uncomfortable. He can start allowing attacks to come onto your children and your finances and your home and your job. Yes, he will allow these things to come and take you out of your comfort place so that you have to get out. Oh my goodness, I can't stay here anymore. This is broke loose over here, and you go and fix that, and you go, this breaks over here, and you go and fix that, and then just before you know it, all hell is broken loose. How many people have ever had all hell break loose? Not some hell, but all hell just break loose. It just seems like you get, as soon as you get one thing fixed, there's another part that's over here that's broken, and you just lift up your hands and say, God, what in the world? What do you want? What did I do? What do you want me to do? And I know that we have all been there. So he started making, letting things come. Let's look at our brother Job. Okay, Job was minding his own business. Job was a man after God's own heart. He was a tither, and he was a praiser. He was a worshiper. Job did nothing but the right thing. And Satan decides, you know what? I'm just going to wander around, see who I can bother. And the Lord says, what you doing? Oh, I'm just wandering around, back and forth, to and fro, seeing what kind of trouble I can get into. The Lord, not Satan, the Lord says, have you considered my servant Job? Well, what you mean? Have you thought about him? Well, of course, he praises you, he worships you, he does all that because everything is perfect in his life. But if you take that stuff away from him, oh well, then he's not going to want to have anything to do with you. Try him. Try him. The Lord allowed the enemy to come in and mess with Job's life, to make him uncomfortable, took away everything that was important to him: his children, his cattle, his wife, his money, his health, his friends. Allowed the enemy to come and mess it all up, to pull him out of his place of comfort, to prove, not just to Satan, but to prove to us that these dry bones can live. Jesus. Star says all these protests are going on and everything is going on in America. But if we want America to change, we have to change. Once we give our lives to God, that's it. We can't continue to take a step back. We have to take a step forward. I love it. Sis, I love that. And yes, I am going to steal that. Thank you very much. Yes, I love that. We have to take a step. Oh my goodness. We can't continue to step back. We have to take a step forward. I love it. And something that I often say, nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. Okay. There's a way to protest. There is a way to say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. There's a way to do these things. Maybe, me certainly with my spinal issues and everything, and I can't go out and march, but that doesn't mean I can't be at home base, making sure that the marchers have water or that they have snacks, or I can be in the prayer booth. I can work with the young people. I can volunteer. I can do something. I may not be able to do what you can do, and I may not be able to do what the majority can do, but I can do what I've been gifted to do. I've been given a platform here on Awesome God Radio, and I am very thankful to my brother AJ, our manager, our big boss here at AGR, who has allowed me to have this platform in order to speak to God's people. Now, some shows are very serious shows. Sometimes we have game shows, we have giveaways, we have silly shows. I do all kind of stuff here on the UpLIFT show. But whatever I do, it's a platform. So I might not. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I don't have a church and a pulpit. You can't come into my pulpit and have me preach at you every Sunday or whatever. But I can use this platform that the Lord has allowed me to have to do what I do best. I've started designing T-shirts. I do a lot of T-shirt design. So I've started to do that to show my support and my solidarity. Here's what my problem is, and this is completely off subject, but this is something that has happened several times before. Okay, I've always been vocal about different movements, the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement and the whatever kind of movement. I am vocal about them, not critical, but vocal. What does that mean? If you are a Black man and you go outside and hold up your sign that says Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, then you go back home, sit in front of the TV and, eat chicken and do nothing else, what did you do? If you are a victim of sexual assault and you go on your Twitter account and you put up hashtag me too, and then you go out, go out dancing with your friends, what have you really done? I don't have any problem standing with those who are weak, standing with my brothers, standing with my sisters. I believe in equality and justice for all. I have no problem supporting, but my support is more than just holding up a sign. My support is more than just wearing a t shirt. My support has to show some action. Just saying, oh, I support you, as I drive by, that doesn't do any good to anyone. A few weeks ago, I was at the store and I was wearing my breast cancer awareness shirt. I was wearing a pink shirt, and as I was at the register, the young lady behind the register said, "Oh, are you a survivor?" And I said, "No, actually, I am not personally a survivor, but I do know survivors." And this just kind of started a side conversation. I said, I cannot, again, as I said a few moments ago, hey, Lippy, as I said a few moments ago, I can't go out in March. They do this, the Susan Komen race for the cure and everything. Physically, I can't do those things. But I do know several people who have survived breast cancer. I know people who are going through it. I have a phone. I can pick up the phone and call Minister Lisa Johnson. Lisa, I hope you're listening right now. I can call her up and say, hey, sis, how you doing? How are you feeling? Do you need to talk? Do you need me to take you to the doctor's appointment? Can I pray for you? Can I bring you some food? I can do something other than just walk around with a pink shirt on. Just because I bought that shirt at a discount store for $3.99, and you know good and well that $3.99 is not going to any kind of charity. So just because I spent $4 on a pink shirt doesn't mean anything unless I put my thoughts into action. That is my concern. So I'm sorry, that was my little side note there. I support Black lives. I support white lives. I support Hispanic lives. I support zombie lives. I support victims of rape. I support everyone. But I don't want to just show it with my lips. My bishop is very fond of saying that you have to walk your walk and talk your talk because one will tell on the other. So I can sit here and yak and yak and yak all I want to about all the things that need to be done. But until I get up off of my bohunkus and start doing something, then my words have meant nothing. Star says she is a survivor of cancer. 5 years. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, because you didn't have to be here for these 5 years. But the Lord has preserved you. And I am thankful for him. I'm thankful for you. Thank you so much, sis. Oh my goodness. We gonna have to be buddies. You get with me, coach. Get with me. So I've completely and totally gone off the subject here. We are talking about the dry bones. So, what's going to happen in 2 months from now, and 6 months from now, a year from now, when things have started to die down? People are going outside again. We don't have to wear masks all the time. What happens? If you remember 9/11, that was another very tumultuous time in our history in America. And for several weeks, maybe I would say maybe 3 or 4 weeks or so after that, everyone was, holding up their flags and God bless America. And people were on their knees and they were praying and they were worshiping and they were filling up the churches. And it was a beautiful thing to see. But then we went back to business as usual. See, we were dry. And then we got a little moisture. We got a little water, and we were so excited, and we said, okay, now let's go back to life. But see, what happened is that was that temporary water. That was not that living water that we wouldn't have to thirst again. See, we went for the quick fix. We got temporary fix. And then we ended up right back where we started. My mother, thank you, mother. My mother says, aren't people who don't help the dry bones? Yes, they are the dry bones. However, we cannot make the mistake of believing that we all are not capable of being dry, because we certainly are. As I said before, we come into church, we sing on the choir, and we assist the pastor, and we sweep the floors, and we fry the chicken, and we do these things because we're sister so and so, or evangelist this, or deacon that, and those are wonderful things. But what happens after you walk out the door? See, 10% of life happens in the church. We spend 10% of our lives in the church. But what are you doing with that other 90%? What is happening after you leave? See, I love church. I love the church, because I know that no matter what happens, there is someone within the walls of the church who can help me, who can stand with me, who can help strengthen me. And I've been hurt in the church. I've been killed in the church. I've been wounded in the church. I wanted to walk away from the church, but I am still thankful, because they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord, because I know no matter what I've been through in the church, that there is somebody in the church who is going to help me out of my dryness. So 10% of our lives are spent within the walls of that church, in our safe place, in our safe house. But you got to come out of that. As my pastor often says, you can't be so heavenly minded that you know earthly good. You can be heavenly minded in that 10% of time in your church all you want to. But what about that other 90%? What happens after you step out of the church? After you cross that threshold, you go into life. We are not we are not of the world, but we are in the world. We have to live in the world. We have to find a way to make it in this world. And in order to do that, we cannot be dry, because whether they know it or not, the world is looking to us for leadership. Because I'm telling you, people are hungry. People are thirsty. People are begging for something to hold on to. They're begging to get out of their pain. They're begging to get out of their misery. The biggest problem that I'm finding a lot with this rioting and looting is that people are angry, but they don't have the correct outlet for their anger. They're fighting the wrong enemy. They're fighting the wrong enemy. So they have to look to us to help them discover the real enemy. They are looking to us without even knowing that they are looking to us. And we cannot be the ones dry. We have to be the ones that say, behold, I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. We have to be able to see that cloud about the size of a man's hand that is ready to pour out upon God's people. We have to be the ones on the front line. We have to be Judah. We have to be the praisers. We have to be the worshipers. We have to be the leaders. We are the ones that are going to take this world either to heaven, or we're going to let them keep going down to hell. We are the one. No, we can't save everybody, but we are the mouthpiece. We are God's hands. We are his feet. We are his mouth here on this earth. And we have to take our place. The dry bones can live. But what is the opposite of dry? Is wet. Where do we get wet? From water. Where do we get that living water? It is only from Jesus. And we have to keep letting people know these dry bones can live with the living water. Because what did I say in the beginning? Before Moses was, I am. Before David was, I am. Before Peter, Paul, and Mary was, I am. He is. And once we partake of that water, we will never thirst again. I don't want to be dry anymore. I don't want you to be dry anymore. It hurts me so badly as I sit and, as I'm driving down the street and I see my brothers and sisters standing around on the corners with, their pants hanging down off their behinds, and they're cussing and smoking and being loud and rude. And it hurts me to my heart because they are dry. I don't want you to be dry. I don't want them to be dry. So I have to take my place. No, I can't necessarily just walk up to this group of people, stand in the middle of the street looking like they're about to beat me up and just walk up and say, can I talk to you about the living water? Really? Doesn't work that way. But there's other things that I might be able to do. And I see that my time is running. And I honestly did not even get to any of the notes. I told you from the beginning, I was not sure where this was going. And it has gone to a place that I totally was not expecting it to go. Oh my goodness. I totally was not expecting to say any of that. And as I said before, sometimes I don't know what I say. So I'm going to have to go back and listen to this show myself to even find out what the heck I said, because I really don't know. But I know I didn't even get to any of my notes. I read the scripture and then that's it. There's like 3 pages of stuff, of notes. I didn't look at none of them. So you know what that says to me? To be continued. I'm not finished, but I'm through. And Miss Starr says that she can't see the other people typing. She's only able to see herself. I'm not sure where you're listening from, my dear. I'm actually live right now on 4 different platforms. I am live on my personal page, Facebook page, which is Easy Breezy Brianna. I am also live on the UpLIFT Show Facebook page, on the Awesome God Radio Awesome God Radio Facebook page, and also we are live right now on YouTube on the UpLIFT channel. So I'm not sure where you're listening to me from. So it is possible, yeah, that you are not able to see other comments. But to be honest with you, my love, I am looking at the comments, and you and my mommy, again, hello mother, are really the only ones who are hanging in there with me. I can see that people are listening, but that doesn't necessarily mean that people are in a position to be able to comment. Sometimes people are driving or whatever, so they will send in their comments later. And I certainly, please, I encourage you to keep up with me. Email me, Facebook me, inbox me. There are plenty of ways to contact me. I'm always available, and I always respond personally. I don't have people. I'm not going to have my people call your people or have your people call my people. Please, I am my people. I'm the only people I have. So if you contact me, I promise you I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And we're going to pick this up again. I don't know if we're going to pick it back up again next week, but we're definitely going to pick this up again because we still got to figure out how to make these dry bones live. I didn't even get to the whole point of the scripture. Them bones, them dry bones, them bones, them dry bones. Okay. Sorry, I had to amuse myself there for a moment. Let's see. Okay, so Star is joining us from the Awesome God Radio page. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Miss Star, please, you can go to my personal page, Easy Breezy Brianna, or certainly at the UpLIFT Show. You can also email me at, let me see if I can find it. Let me try to make this quick because it's hard for me sometimes to see stuff. Here we go. Right now, across the bottom of your screen, it should say What would you like to see on the Uplift Show? Email me at breezylikesundayMorn@yahoo.com. So please feel free to contact me. I check my emails several times a day because if I don't, my box fills up with stuff and junk and things. And so I have to get rid of the stuff and junk and things to actually get to the people I want to converse with. So please do not hesitate to email me, keep in touch with me, and I will keep in touch with you. Please, again, go to YouTube and subscribe to the Uplift channel. Um, share the this show on your timeline and start a watch party. Invite your friends and family. I want to grow the Uplift Show family because when I say uplift, I mean exactly what I say. I want to uplift my brothers and sisters, the people of God. The more people I touch, the more successful I am. Again, as I said at the beginning of the show, I am very thankful for those who nominated me for the 2020 Spin Awards. I'm looking forward to going to the ceremony this year. I've been nominated for Radio Show of the Year and Radio Host of the Year, both extreme honors. If I win, great. If I don't, it's still great. Why? Because I touched somebody enough to say, hey, you know what? I want to vote for her or I'm going to nominate her. So I must have done something right. If I only touch one can chase 1,000, but two can put 10,000 to flight. What kind of math does the Lord have that two people can set 10,000 to flight? Why? Because if I touch one person, then they touch one person. And then that one person touches somebody else and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. It's a web. So I'm trying to cast out my net and bring in the fish. So please, y'all hang in there with me. I'm growing. The Uplift Show is growing. The Uplift channel is growing. Awesome God Radio is growing. Stick in there with me, y'all. We are. I'm taking y'all with me wherever I go. And again, thank you so much, Star, for your participation tonight. Has been invaluable. Thank you so much for my mommy. Up, and I see the big boss AJ in the house. AJ, I love you so much. You all do not forget to go to www.thespinawards.com/vote. Anywhere you see, this is what I'm telling y'all what to look for. Look for the Uplift Show. Look for Breezy. Look for Whitney Hogan's. Look for the She Heals Radio Show. Look for Pastor Deborah Burris. And look for the Good Life Gospel Show. Everywhere you see those names, just press it. Just press it. And do it over and over and over and over and over again until you get sick of looking at your computer, until you got vertigo and your eyes go blind and everything else. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And yeah, just do that for me. So thank you for joining me tonight. Again, I'm honestly going to have to go back and listen to this whole show to find out what in the world I said, because I think I got so loud at some point that I scared the cat away. I don't know what happened to her. She kind of gave me a look and then she took off running. So I don't know. Maybe I put the fear of God into her or something. Who knows? But I will not leave you without at least one dumb tweet. We're gonna break the ice a little bit. Of course, for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, we always do here at the end of every show tales from dumb Twitterverse, and this is simply where I look on Twitter and find things that dumb people say. And there's always plenty to find. There's always something out there in dumb Twitterverse. So I found a couple. This one, I believe this was a woman. Usually I don't give their names. Sometimes I do. This time I will not. But this was a young lady, and she said, seriously, why did unicorns become extinct? Because they don't exist. Next. I said, I did not realize that adults actually think that unicorns exist somewhere. They don't. Now, in light of course, of the racism and the racial climate that we have, I want to give you a little encouragement here. Because as I said earlier, this generation of intolerant, they're dying out, and some of them are so incredibly dumb that they are dying out faster than others. Someone on Twitter says, I don't understand all this race stuff. Being black is a choice, like being gay or transgender. If racists are this stupid, they're not going to be around too long. Being black is a choice, like being gay or transgender. So you see, what had happened was, is that, when I was in my mother's womb, I decided to myself, I said, because I call myself I said, I know my mother's black and I know my father's black and my sister's black and, my grandparents are black. But I think I might decide I'm going to be white. Oh, maybe I'll be Chinese. And then I thought, no, it might look a little weird. So I guess I'll just come out black like everybody else. Yes, I choose to be black. Dumb. And I'm not even going to touch the gay and transgender thing. Ooh, that's a conversation for a whole other night. But I love you all. I don't care what you do behind your bedroom doors. I still love you, and I'm not even gonna go there tonight. I've already gone past my time, and I certainly do not want to leave you without the uplifting thought of the night. Let me check these comments just one more time. Yes, AJ, really. Somebody is really that stupid. And by the way, AJ, I would like to say that I'm so very glad that you made the choice to be black. Mother, you're still listening. Thank you for choosing to be black. Thank you for not choosing to be Chinese. Thank you for not choosing to be German. I really don't care for German food. I thank you, Mother, for choosing black. Black Lives Matter. Okay. So, of course, like I said, last but certainly not least, I always want to leave you with a little upliftment. So, my uplifting thought of the week comes from none other than Abraham Lincoln, often considered one of the greatest presidents to ever live. And I love this, what he says, and it is very relevant for our time right now. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Say that one more time. The best way to predict the future is to create it. How many people know that you are the masters of your own destiny? You don't need psychics. You don't need fortune tellers. You don't need tarot cards. You don't need the Psychic Friends Network. You don't need Diane Warwick. You don't need Miss Cleo to tell you what your future is. You create your future by the choices you make today. If you have ever worried about how the future will turn out because things aren't going as you planned, this is a good life lesson. You can create the future you want, which immediately helps you stop worrying about it. By creating your future rather than fearing it, you regain the element of control and stop looking at yourself as the victim of things that are happening to you. They say the future is unknown, and largely it is, but you can do things today that will influence your tomorrows, and that makes today a very powerful thing indeed. So I want to encourage you to use your today to shape your tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, you can look forward to your future if you have started working towards it today. So, as always, I encourage you to get love, get peace, get wisdom, get understanding, and above all, get lifted. Breezy absolutely loves you. And I thank you once again for joining me on the Uplift Show. Good night. And don't let your bones be dry. I love you. And I'm trying to close your eye with my little commercial here, but I can't find it. There it is. Until next week, y'all.